Give a look. Who is here? You arrived. We have Yoili in the house.
Setting up the phone?
Setting up the phone, setting up the production.
The thing is that without a mic, they're not gonna hear me. Guess where we are? Sam's Point. The views are insane. So first you come up, Pebble Road, easy walk. This is where it starts. We're gonna start going up. If you come here in the weekends, you must make reservations. Otherwise, you're not gonna get into the parking lot. If you come in the weekdays, you make sure to come after 9. If you come before 9, it's gonna be closed. Once you come here and you're ready to do a little climbing, this is insanely beautiful. Oh my gosh! Okay, wait a second. We got to the top already. So now we can go back.
I'm gonna stand over there. You gotta take a picture of me, okay?
What? You wanna stand?
Right there.
There. You crazy! Benny, say hi! Bency, say bye! Looks like you're going down. Anybody's got a parachute for Benty? Anybody's got a parachute? Asking for a friend. Give it a jump and let's see. This is too much fun. When you go hiking, how far into the hike does it take you to start feeling it? In the beginning of the hike, I usually have to push myself. My feet, everything is still like pixelated, you know? It's like robotic movements. And only like, for me, it takes like, I would say 20 minutes about. And then it just fluid. It's like everything has WD-40. Why am I saying it? Because people tell me, it's like, I don't know, I took a half-hour hike. It's not for me. Hiking is not for me. My response is always, a half-hour hike is not gonna get you there. It's gotta be minimum an hour, because the real geschmack, the real juice, you start feeling after a half hour. Okay guys, we're packing up, we're going into the ice caves. Okay, if we don't come out, if you don't see the end of the video, then yeah, call rescue. My viewers speak Yiddish and English. Why am I talking for them? I should ask them. Do you want it to be in English or in Yiddish? Comment below, what would you rather like?
This is so cool.
Wow, this is insane. Oh my gosh, it's so much colder in here. Yeah. Is that why it's called the ice caves?
Yeah, yes.
The topic we're discussing today
Where are we going over here?
What does stress have to do with healing an injury?
What does the mind play? Forget about stress. Let's say someone is perfectly fine, is living his life. What does the mind play in healing? I'm sure you heard about the subject placebo.
The placebo effect from Joe Dispenza.
Yes, placebo.
He has a book called The Placebo.
Yes, I read it. Placebo effect basically means that whatever your mind decides and gets to work on, that's what's gonna happen. So, for the idea of placebo comes in pills. When you do a trial, you wanna see if a pill really works or doesn't work. They give, let's say, they try a new medication for, let's say, I don't know, a cold. New medication. They give 200 people, 100 take a real pill, 100 take a pill that has nothing in it, just like
sugar
powder.
pill.
Yeah. What they find is that a huge percentage of the people that actually take the placebo pill actually get cured. And
there's nothing in the pill.
Because the mind tells them they're actually taking a pill. That's how interesting it is.
That's the placebo.
That's a placebo. And it doesn't stop at pills.
So if my mind tells me that I can go through this crevice right here, then I can do it.
Oh, that's a way out?
I'm trying to prove a point here. Let me see if I can go out from here. There is? Ah! Wait a second, we got stuck?
Let's see. We will have to turn
We went the wrong way?
Actually, I got a marker over here.
Okay, what's over there?
That's like just
a
a
small
gathering area, like a rest area.
No, that's the caves.
I do see it. I have a green marker over there.
Of course we can go on the caves.
That's not the way.
Okay, and what's over here? Is also an exit?
This is another cave.
This is another cave. Okay. And we're going into these caves.
Let's do this.
But it's pitch dark in here.
Benzi gegangen.
Is anybody there? Oh, there's somebody there. I thought it's a bat. Is it safe to go in there? Are we allowed to go in there?
You want to go inside?
I don't know. I don't want to do something dangerous. There's no floor in there.
Why do you think it's dangerous?
Let's do it. Who cares? Will Ezra do it?
Have you a question? If
If Ezra's gonna do it, we're gonna do it. Guys, we're crazy, but we're doing this. Let's do this.
Oh, wow.
Okay. How am I supposed to do this?
You're not supposed. If you want to do it, you can do it.
Okay, we're in the caves.
Why is it so cool in there? Actually, the same area as outside. You can actually walk in here as well.
This is crazy.
You hear the noise? You actually see water?
Yeah, there's water.
Are we turning back?
This is a hike.
This is going even deeper. This is a long trail.
Benzie's saying we gotta take off our backpacks.
Yeah, ordered 2 paths over here.
Okay, Benzie's leading the
Are
way.
you going or am I going?
I don't know about this.
It's gonna be a little tricky for you, for us.
My backpack stays here.
You're actually doing it. You see what's on top of you, right?
It's literally over here.
We're coming out of the caves. Let's do this. You're saying that we gotta go down here. You gotta love this. Watch your head, watch your front, watch your back. Woo! We did it.
You can't go on this side. No footprint.
Where?
Oh, yeah. We have to make a right.
Oh, I never saw that on a hike. It's the first time to everything.
At what age do you stop seeing stuff like the first time? Is there an age or?
Never.
Never?
Never. Are you sure this is the way? Oh my gosh, there's a light in here. You see the light activates when you walk through. No wait. There's a book from Louis Hay.
Who's there about that?
Did you find that book being accurate?
Surprisingly accurate.
You serious? So the mind-body connection is something that science is very hard to accept. Doctors especially, because
They choose a pick when they want to accept it, when they don't want to accept it.
for example,
When you do workouts, you do heavy workouts. See, it says, I'm not sure if I'm gonna call it doctor, but it's the scientist world. There are actually we zijn arbeid exercise. We zijn arbeid when you build muscle. When tussen het exercise weer aan muscle opgebouwd. So the neurons,
the nervous system.
the nervous system, will trick the messages in here today. While
Your
you're doing
mind.
it, and while you do it, you host in zin. I'm doing this movement now because I'm contracting this muscle and I want this muscle to be built. En ze gaat hem zacht sterker effect. Ze gaat zacht sneller werden gebuild.
Because the mind is helping out the body.
This is just the movement and die tracht en alles zit van hem.
So the same thing when it comes to healing and working on our bodies, if we injure something, then we can actually fix it with the
Just
mind.
with the mind.
So next time you tell yourself you can't go on a hike, just know that it's not necessarily your body saying you can't go on a hike. Could be it's your body, could be it's your mind.
Most of the time it's the mind.
Most of the time it's the mind.
100%.
By the way, Benzi, I don't know if you know, another cave.
Another
coming
cave.
up.
Let's do this. This time it's going to be a cave with an apple.
Oh my gosh. Watch your head, watch your head.
What I was talking about earlier about the placebo, what he writes in his book, is when he was a young teenager or at 20, 25.
Who writes in his book?
This Mr. Placebo, I forgot his name. You mentioned his name.
Joe Dispenza.
Dispenser, yeah.
There's a book called The Placebo.
That's right. So he had a major injury and he went to the doctor and they all told him he's gonna have a major surgery. He's gonna be paralyzed for the rest of his life from his waist down. Or for his full body, I think from his waist down, if I remember correctly. And he said, no, I'm not doing this. So they said, listen, you have to do it. No, I'm not. What he
The doctor
did is,
said you have to do it.
but he said, what he came up with an idea is that the body is so powerful that the same body that heals your skin, heals the bones, heals anything, that very same body can heal anything, even if the doctor tells you need surgery.
As long as the doctor doesn't damage it with surgery.
Yes,
As long as the doctor doesn't damage it with surgery.
correct. It's not meant for everyone, but I guess
But it's true because,
but you have
you
to
know,
have that
we
mind.
stop growing when we're 18, 19, we stop growing,
Yes.
right? So if somebody breaks a bone,
Yes.
how does it grow back?
It's not growing, it's rejuvenating, it's reproducing.
It's not growing,
So
it's
when you
reconnecting.
It's not only reconnecting. So,
Of course it's regrowing.
so basically the idea is
Regrowing, it's not growing.
Whatever.
It's not growing taller.
how many trillion of cells do we have in our body every day?
I didn't count. Should I start counting?
But they're talking about like trillions of cells. The part of the cells is the bone cells. Bones are also living from both.
Regrowing, rejuvenating.
How does it?
If I get a cut in my hand, how does
Everything-
the skin regrow?
Everything is about the cells. Every 90 days, the cycle renews. Every 90 days, you have a new set of trillions of cells in your body. So it's not about if your finger is getting bigger or the bone is stretching and getting longer, so automatically you're getting higher. It's about the bone is actually living. It's rejuvenating. It's actually
It's a living bone.
That means that the bone also
Even when it's not injured.
Well, let me ask you a different question. So when you got injured and your bone is getting broken, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you put on a cast. Why don't you have to wear this for life? Why after 2 weeks you can take it off?
Correct.
How is the cast healing you?
All the cast does
Holding together.
Shouldn't move the bone.
They are able to move it back in place. They put in a cast to hold it in place, so it's growing back. It's living back one into the other.
But why do you sometimes need surgery? Sometimes
they want to do surgery because they like to play with bodies. They like to play. That's for them objects. They're making money on it.
There's a lot of people that didn't get surgery and they never got healed.
You need to be one to do it. You cannot just say, hey, it should happen by itself. You really got to do the right things in order it should happen. Like we have discussed, it's in broad and general, the word is a lifestyle. Now you can break it down to some different points. It's stress, you got to be very calm. You got to be very mindful. You got to be very careful what your intake is. Food, drink intake. You got to make sure to be rested well. You got to make sure to exercise well. You can do physical therapy. You can do all these stuff to help your body heal by itself. But you cannot just sit on the couch and not move and eat junk and expect the body should heal by itself. I'm not going to do surgery. I'm not going to do this and that. You know, if you want to eat junk and do junk, make sure to go to the doctor and follow whatever the doctor says. If you treat and take care of your body how it's supposed to be, then you don't have to go to the doctor and you don't have to do surgery. You don't have to take medications.
Oh, there.
Nice. And a baby.
A baby.
And a baby.
It is so cute. That is so cute.
Hey.
Adorable.
But kick the
That's not a baby. It's a twins.
Come on, that is adorable.
Let's continue. So there's no question about Hashem created something called medication, the medical world, doctors, the surgeon, everything. But you need to use it wisely.
I have news for you. Even in the medical world, there's also differences because chiropractors, for instance,
medicine.
are not necessarily
Not mainstream medicine.
no, but they're not accepted by a lot of doctors. A lot of doctors laugh when chiropractors saying that's not a doctor.
So
even in the medical world itself,
It's not medical.
there is disagreement with what does fall and what doesn't fall into the category.
right. So I broke it down basically into 3 main components when it comes to this subject. Number 1 is when it comes to an emergency, which it's time sensitive, please let yourself be treated medically. Happy has been created for a reason. Any medication that saves a life, you need to have it immediately in order to save your life. You should let yourself be treated medically.
If a person doesn't take an EpiPen when they have an allergy
Or if
they can choke to
or
death.
if the heart stops working, you also give an epi in order to bring it back alive. Any life-threatening medication you give, you take in order to stay alive.
You know what?
It's just as much to take this medication that's going to save your life. That's component number 1. Component number 2 is when you go to people who treat naturally, okay? There are all kinds of different ways of being
Like
healed.
homeopaths.
Now, you can't go to a dowser who's using a chain or whatever it's called, and it's with energy and this and that. I'm not gonna go into it if it's real, not real, if it's true, it's not true. I don't care about it. The fact is, you have a body who is actually working with blood. It's actually working with movement, and it's actually working. Let's call it medically, physically body. So you go diagnose yourself, test yourself on the medical level. Take blood. Let the doctor examine you. Once you know what's going on with you, then you can choose to treat it on the natural way. It doesn't have to be medically. Of course, if it's not time sensitive, it's not in a case of an emergency. That's component number 2. So there's a lot of different kind of illnesses that needs to be checked out and treated. Some of these illnesses you check with MRIs or X-rays, and some of them you check with blood work.
Before we go to component number 3, people watching this saying, "What you guys to talk? You doctors? How do you know?" So I'm not a doctor. But I am talking. The reason why I know this very, very well is because I'm not afraid to talk about it on YouTube. And you can contact me if you want to hear more information about it. But I myself had to go for surgery. I was in agonizing pain. And the MRI showed that I needed emergency surgery. And the doctors threatened me, if you're not going to do the surgery right now, I don't even want to finish the sentence.
One doctor. How many doctors you went to? All
You remember how many doctors?
All of them said the same. If you're not doing emergency surgery right away, you are in danger.
They saw anything on the MRI?
MRI, yes.
A slip disc?
Slip disc, hernia disc, whatever. It has a lot of different names. Punctured disc, whatever you want to call it.
Wow.
And Baruch Hashem, by the grace of God,
You're actually hiking right now.
I'm hiking, I'm
You
moving.
weren't able to pick up your head.
You remember when I had
Don't even mention walking, going on a hike.
So I'm only talking from my experience.
So how did you get to that point?
Oh, so let's continue to component number 3.
So, just as he mentioned that he is talking about his experience, same here, we talk about our own experience that we had. It wasn't about a slip disc, it was about a disease that we were able to cure without any medications, even though the doctor threatened us if I'm going to take medication, it's going to be the worst. I came back to the doctor 6 months later because I'm still in the mindset, I still hold that you must be checked out by the doctor. Everyone is allowed to argue. No one has to.
Yeah,
everyone is allowed to have their own opinion. That's my opinion.
But both of our, we agree with this. Both of our opinions are, you go to the doctor.
No matter what,
Go to the
you go
doctor.
for the physical once a year.
But here's a very, very good key that I heard, and when the trainer that helped me, she said, when you go to the doctor, you are going to get information from him just as much as he's getting information from you. So don't look at him as he has the answer.
The answer.
Take information from him, and he's one of the sources.
That's
there are
right.
many sources.
And you have
You need to do a lot of research.
laid out in front of you. After doing your
And this is a very important point, because when a person goes through a disease or any physical symptoms, their brain capacity is not there. You can't think for yourself.
Yeah.
You can't think. So the first doctor you run to, you like emotionally, you throw yourself onto him, and he's gonna save you. And whatever he says, you just want to be over and done with. So it's very hard for you to do your own research, to be your own advocate. It's very hard to advocate for yourself. That's why in hospitals, a lot of the volunteers are patient advocates. Why do you need a patient advocate? Because if a patient is sitting in the hospital and he doesn't have somebody by his side, the nurses are not going to come to him. They go to whoever screams the loudest. So you need somebody to advocate. It's very hard to self-advocate for yourself when you're going through something that literally hijacks your entire body.
100%. I want to finish first with my own experience that we went back to the doctor after 6 months and he examined. He said, I cannot believe this. She's actually 100% healed without any side effects, and he wants to know how we did it.
That's a very humble doctor.
And
because
we
most
cannot-
doctors
we
will
cannot-
not agree.
Exactly. So we can have now our conversation that I had with a doctor who was actually crying to me, saying that he's treating patients already for 20 years, and that's getting blind one after the other. He wants to know what I did. He wants to study it. He wants to do his clinical studies to make sure it's actually accurate, it's actually working. He admitted to me that with the treatment he wanted to use, it would still not have been healed. Not only this, you can start making research on all these side effects all these medications have. And he was actually crying to me. Anyways,
Wow.
this is actually where I proved the point about the medical world versus the broad picture of all alternatives that you have.
world,
Right. Component number 3 is very simple. Hashem created a beautiful body. Everything in the body should work properly. Okay? When you're born, all of a sudden you are being trained by yourself to get up, turn around, walk, eat, everything. And as the time passes, everything you keep on learning and being trained to do more and more things by yourself. Now, if a guy decides that he wants to use alternative medicine versus medical, he has first to choose not to harm his body with food or any other things that harms the body. If it's smoking, vaping, physically inactive, anything that harms his body.
Let's go to the 3 components again. 1,
In case of an emergency, you must follow medical advice.
first go to the doctor.
100%.
Get MRI, do what you gotta do.
So when does the alternative medicine come in? As soon as you're stable. we took a high amount of prednisone steroids in order to survive. But at a certain point, we started going down. We were unable.
How long are you going to continue being on steroids?
That's right. So of course we took the steroids in order to survive, but for the long-term plan, we did not follow whatever they said. We just did the alternative.
Number one, go to the doctor. Go to the
Okay, so
hospital.
you got it.
Number two,
Let yourself being, let's call it, diagnosed or checked out medically.
don't go to the opposite extreme of going only to energy healers and homeopathy and yoga and Reiki and then go and chiropractors. Get the medical field, like you said, blood tests, MRI.
You know what's included? Go for a yearly physical.
Yeah, now we're going into maintenance.
No. But it's important because if something is going on silent in your body, you have no idea. But it's a part of the same idea. It's not a problem to go to a medical doctor to being checked out. It's a problem when you let yourself being treated like
Only by them.
exactly without doing your research or checking out if there's maybe some alternatives. You have no idea what this treatment is going to cause in the long run. So that's component number 2. Now, component number 3. In order you should be able to say, I'm let myself being treated by alternative medicine, you gotta make sure to treat your body healthy, which includes eat healthy, which includes anything, food intake or drink intake.
No sugar.
No sugar.
For example.
By the way, that's a whole conversation for itself. We can talk about it. Number 2 is stress levels should be low, be relaxed, be kind to your
Take care of
body.
yourself.
That's it. Take care of yourself.
It's not just kind to your body, to your food, it's also the people you're taking.
That's it.
Don't hang around people that are negative.
Make sure to be physically active. Physically active is not one conversation, it's actually an additional 10 conversations we can talk about.
But if you're watching this video, the physical activity is definitely on your bucket list.
Make
Because
sure.
if you're watching it, that means you want to go take a hike.
That's right, because when you go take a hike, it's not only physical activity, it's mental activity. It's component number 2 as well. It releases your stress levels. And in general, when you go for a physical activity, it releases your stress levels and it has so much benefits to it. Like I said, we can have another 10 conversations
And also,
about
when
it.
you go take a hike, usually 99.9, the people who are going to go with you
Are going to be like-minded
Betsy and
people.
Penny, it's like-minded people. It's
This video might give you a lot of exposure because it's very controversial. There's gonna be comments about from both directions, but against and about it.
You want to hear an interesting story? You know the founder of Apple, Tim Cook? Who's the one that passed away?
Steve Jobs.
Jobs. He got diagnosed with stage 1 or stage 2. The doctor told him, here's your remedy, here's your chemo, everything. Let's get you out of this. But he said, I want to try the natural way. He tried to do all the remedies and all the alternative stuff. He came back like after 9-10 months and I was already at stage 4. And then the doctor told him, now it's already gone, there's nothing we can do for you. The lesson of that story is, if it's true, is there is a place for real medicine to work. It's like you have to walk a very fine line and no one knows the fine line, and that's the beauty about this world. It's, God is the only thing that's true and straightforward, and you know what's true. Anything else you can try to guess and figure out.
Can I add my 2 cents on this story? Basically, hear where it's coming in, listen to your body. Trust your gut. Trust your body. If you try doing it for a couple days, weeks, or months, and it's not working, it's getting worse, let yourself being healed medically, because it's still better than dying. If maybe you're not doing it the right way, maybe it's not working, maybe it's bashit. There is so many different things that might be, but I wouldn't choose it as my first option.
Just like we discussed, Joe Dispenza.
Okay.
His book, The Placebo, he helped himself. There's also the book called Journeys. This woman writes clearly how she died. She was diagnosed with cancer. And there were many people that followed the journey. Many people.
And they got healed by themselves.
So when you could heal cancer by yourself, you're saying it was with Steve Jobs. So this is a very important conversation because it's not black and white.
Right.
So because it's not black and white, people don't know. So should I try this? Should I try that?
Let me ask you this. Why is alternative medicine so popular, you guys? You want to hear what my opinion is?
It's become very popular.
Why?
Lately. What happened?
Why? Because regular medicine doesn't work a lot. So let's say
it's
for
not either
myself,
100%.
Yes, but people are like so desperate. They have no alternative what to turn to. And they tried already this regular medicine. At one point, he decides, let's drop this. Let me try something else. Should it be
I can tell you why I went to alternative
But
medicine.
you didn't do a surgery. So
I went to alternative medicine because the doctor, with the surgery that they wanted to do, was going to take away 50% of my movement in my neck. Wow. They were going to fuse my discs because I was in so much pain and I was pressing on my nerve. So they were going to fuse the discs and I was going to lose 50% of my motion.
Wow.
We don't even know how much motion we do. Just to give you an example, I spoke to people who did the surgery. They can only drink from a straw. They can't drink from a cup anymore. But how much motion you do when you drink from a cup? And I was like, this is what you're telling me? I'm a young guy for the rest of my life. I'm what?
It's crazy.
I was like, and I remember I was in bed. Nancy helped me a lot. I spoke to a lot of people. I called every organization. I called them.
Not the best.
Not the best. They're all helpful. They all tried their best, but their specialty
They're limited.
is not alternative medicine.
Yeah.
Their specialty is doctors. They're not specializing in alternative medicine.
That's so beautiful.
You have no freaking idea what damage every single dose of medication does to your body.
So it really depends how big your pain level is and how urgent it is. If it's a cold or a strep or an ear infection, you know how many people don't do anything for ear infections these days?
Okay, so now we're going
Because
into the
it's-
conversation of anti-vaxxers.
It's not
No,
bad.
it's medication. It's still,
Some people don't go to the doctor. Everything they do is only from at home. The kid has an ear infection, you put garlic. But the kid,
Is it life-threatening? Yes or no? Isn't it? Why do you dump in medication in this body? The medication is gonna do much more damage to this body as this ear infection. It can do so many things to calm the kid, take away the pain without medication.
So you have to find that balance.
Exactly. If
You have to find that balance.
If you're up to it, of course.
I've seen both extremes. I've seen people that go right away to the, and that's it.
Of course, if you
Stop the kid from crying.
If you take the medication, you pour it into a cup or a syringe, and you dump it into the mouth. Of course, it's gonna be the fastest, the easiest, and the kid's gonna be quiet in an hour.
The same thing with putting kids to sleep.
Yeah,
Some
you're
people that
making it
they
sound-
pump their kids every single night with melatonin.
You have no idea what they do to the kid's body. That's
They
crazy.
just pump their kids with why? Because the kid is crying. The kid can't fall asleep.
Can I-
Melatonin. So I'm not saying never give melatonin. I'm not a doctor, and it's not my place to talk about this. But my point I'm trying to say is there's got to be a healthy balance.
Yeah,
There is a time to give melatonin.
I cannot.
Don't give it every single night.
I can turn the table now a little and be actually on the other side. So there are people that are very, very, very extreme. Let's put some examples on the table. They are doing animus every single day.
Do what?
Animus.
I don't know. Animus, no.
So go do a Google search. These are extreme on next level. They're never going to doctors. We spoke about it when we covered the 3 components. That the Rambam learns us. You got to take the middle. You got to take the balance. Balance.
What did you ask?
I say, how much stress does it put on your body and your mind to be so focused on your health and so focused on being at the extreme of not eating this, not eating that? My belief is stress is the ultimate killer. That's my personal belief.
Personal belief meaning your personal experience.
Opinion, yes.
Opinion or experience?
Both. So if being so health-minded is gonna put a tremendous amount of stress in your day, you're not doing yourself a favor. Because stress kills a person, no matter how healthy you are.
That's why I call it lifestyle. Lifestyle does not mean I put stress on a certain area or a certain subject. It's about, of course, it does not go one minute to the other. You're not changing your lifestyle in a split of a second. And in the beginning, it might be a little hard. It might be some adjustments. But once it's adjusted, it's changed. Let's say after 2 years, you start working slowly on certain components. You work, let's say, first only on the food intake. Later you work on the physical activity. Later you work on your stress levels. Later you start working that you minimize the medication intake. There's so many areas where you can work on your health lifestyle without stress.
Without the stress.
Who said that has to be with stress? Doesn't have to be nothing. Same as you. No black and white. It's not like either you're medical completely, either you're like natural completely. Doesn't
You have to find the balance between medical and
find the
natural.
balance. You need to do it as a lifestyle. You need to basically adjust and improve your healthy lifestyle. That's about it.
Because the stress level, if you go to the doctor with a mindset, if you go to the natural way with a mindset, if that your mindset that you have is, I gotta fix it now. And it's so normal to have that mindset, because when you're lying in bed and you can't move, and there's only so long your boss is gonna keep on, there's only so long your partner, whatever business you got is gonna keep. You know what I mean? It's like life is waiting. You can't go to family occasions. You can't go to weddings. You're missing out. You know how many things I missed out on? My main mindset at that point was, I gotta get this fixed now.
Yeah.
And if you walk with that kind of mindset, that itself is so stressful.
So let me add something else, which is something I saw last week, an article, and it's a great debate. What's more important? Is healthy eating, intake, and that's one part of what you can look at, or just physical activity?
Why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't it be both? Why can't you both eat healthy and have to?
So we live in a world where we want everything instantly.
That's what I'm saying. The quick fix. That creates so much stress.
Yes. What you will find is fast food always means that you open a wrapper and you eat. You open a snack, you have it available.
Processed
Healthy
fast
foods, for the most part, I know there's vegetables, fruits, healthy food, especially healthy meals, yeah? It's something that you have to prepare. And keep in mind, people are lazy by default. Oh, that's what I hear.
And the more lazy you are, the more of a quick fix. I'll give you a good question, okay?
I want to complete this, okay?
What do you think is going to be more pissed off, more nervous? The guy who wakes up in the morning, he goes to work out and he makes himself a salad and he puts in cherry tomatoes, lettuce, whatever he likes, and he goes down to the car and realizes that he forgot to take the dressing. Okay? Versus the guy who goes into Dunkin' Donuts, gets a coffee and a donut, and he got a strawberry sprinkled donut instead of a chocolate sprinkle. Who's going to be more pissed off?
Of course, the salad. No, of course, because you tried both. No, you already monitored both kind of people. Come on. When a person
all the time.
Well, you don't go to Dunkin' Donuts.
No.
Okay. Well, I think Benzie agrees with me 100%. 100%. Right? Benzie's with me. Who do you think is right?
No.
Benzie, Yaeli, or Penny?
It's not a convincible conversation. You cannot go to a person and convince him that he's unhealthy and he must do exercises, physical activity, and eating healthy. The person has to know it by himself. He has to experience some wake-up call, which is gonna call him, you must do it. If not, something is going to happen. If it's being forced on another person by someone's convincing another person, you must start doing a healthy lifestyle, he's gonna drop it after 2 weeks.
Let's say I'm convinced the intake is extremely important.
Okay.
And exercise is extremely important.
Okay.
But I run an extreme busy lifestyle.
Okay.
I don't have an endless amount of money. So that, fast food might be sometimes cheaper than healthy food sometimes.
Okay.
So I can't do both.
Let's understand this question. This question is, should I first start eating healthy? Or should I first start
working out? The Rambam has a very good take on it, and I know the Rambam.
Okay, we'll get the Rambam, we'll get the Benzie, but let's first put Penny.
But you don't move a drip. You're gonna have every disease in the world is gonna come on you. 100%. Not on you, on that person. Because your body needs to move and it needs to get exercise. Versus, if you eat all the junk food in the world, but you do exercise constantly, your body will take care of itself because it gets the energy and movement and will know what to digest, how to digest it, but you're gonna be a healthy person.
So basically, my add on it is very simple. First of all, whatever the Rambam said, it's definitely Kodesh Kodeshim. Point number one, you are still able to do both, and I'm gonna elaborate on it in a minute. Point number 2 is when you start working out, okay? I'm talking about really working out, your body cannot accept junk food anymore.
That's true.
So automatically, it's going to be much, much easier for you.
True.
I'm going to tell you something. The reason why you want to eat junk is because you crave it. It pulls you. You walk into the Bismedic and see you hitting on table, it's calling you. When you're going to start doing workouts, it's not going to call you anymore. Point number 3, in the times of the Rambam, there weren't so as many junk as there is today in the life, in the world. Saying that when you do physical exercise, you can still eat all junk. That's false information. 100% that's not allowed. You can maybe not be as restrictive, like you said, maybe you're allowed to eat a little more. A perfect example, let's talk about steak. A guy who has high cholesterol is not allowed to eat steak because he's at risk with the high cholesterol. If he's working out a lot, his cholesterol levels are going down, he's allowed to eat a little more red meat, steak.
I can tell you from my experience, when I started first, I tried eating healthy. It was so hard. But I started exercise. And exercise is what brings me to eat healthy. But eating healthy does not bring me to exercise.
Yes, that's very true.
Meaning, if I eat now a plate of salad, right? I'm like, wow, I just ate healthy. Is that going to encourage me now to go do exercise?
No.
Not necessarily. But if I do exercise for an hour, am I gonna eat a Danish after I start? I just hiked now 4 hours. Really? Most hikers
will eat healthy.
Yeah. I started with literally an hour hike. I started just going around the lake. I started with bike riding. I started a little bit.
Enjoyment.
I'm telling you,
physical hike is not only for your body, it's also for your mind.
Right.
About stress.
Yes.
So it does both.
Let's go back to the busy guy who doesn't have time to eat healthy or be physically active. You just gotta do small little changes at a time. Take 2 things every week. You start with 1 week that you're going to improve that week. Let's take an example. A guy who's drinking 5 cans of cola every day, he's only gonna drink 4 Coke. He's gonna start eating healthy? No, he's cutting down on his sugar. Same thing is with a guy who doesn't move. He's not physically active. You go pray every day. You go to the shul around the corner. You usually taking out the car and you go looking for parking. How about you take a walk? Any call doesn't mean that you're getting sick or something happening. Any call is an awareness that you by yourself experience on some level. Some people are experiencing when they need to go up a size in the back of chair, and they need to go up a size in the suit, and they realize, hey, something is going on here. I must take myself in my hands. Well, how do you say it?
Everybody has their own inner calling.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be that something like tragic, something crazy happened. And you know what? By the way, some people, you know what inner calling is? That's either a close relative or someone that passed away from a heart attack or from a stroke.
Oh,
and that's inner calling for some people.
You don't know what's happening.
Isn't that sad?
People are
Isn't that
dying.
sad that people have to die for people to wake up?
Every day these days. That's a
you want to take me over there?
Don't give me the argument.
What are you talking about?
Don't give me the argument. I've seen healthy people pass away.
How many people are dying every single day from chronic illnesses which is coming from unhealthy eating, unhealthy behavior, and not being physically active?
So point number 1 is, I'm not telling you that if you're going to be healthy,
you're going to live for 120 years. Guaranteed.
Yes, that's not what I'm telling you. But what we are telling you, that if you're not going to be healthy, then your chances are...
It's not about dying, it's about the quality of life.
It's also quality of life. Was that point number 2? Quality of life?
Point number 2 is
20, but without a life.
Exactly. That's very good, actually. Point number 3, actually. It's not about how long you live, it's the quality.
Self-care is something some people are really, really bad at.
Okay.
And there are some places where self-care is much more encouraged. Some places where self-care is not even spoken about. And today, there's a much bigger awareness coming to self-care industry. And self-care can mean going for yoga, can mean going for meditation, going for energy, going for a hike, eating healthy, exercising, going to sleep on time. Why isn't it a normal accepted thing for people to sleep from 10 to 5?
the way it should be. Just two
I just want to
professional
add to that.
athletes
Okay, go for it.
that both have I don't know how to pronounce the full name.
By the way, being an athlete is very risky. You can have a lot of
but
risks.
not old athletes.
It's not about old. It doesn't have to be old. It can be in the 20s. An athlete is a risky job.
Football players?
You have no idea what
You know how many surgeries they have?
You pull.
Young athletes that both have their heart stopped point blank in front of everyone.
Point
If
blank.
they didn't, cardiac arrest.
It's a very normal thing, and if
Correct.
that's not called a healthy lifestyle, you should. Excuse me.
You know what's so special about going to Westmother 3 times a day?
What?
By actually meeting other people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Make sure to
Yes,
meet
100%.
like-minded, healthy-minded people.
That's what I was about
That's
that.
fine.
Who do you meet?
Oh, we
Who
got
do you hang around with? What do you discuss?
But-
Who do you discuss it with?
Correct.
It makes a big difference. Makes
It
a
all
big
makes a
difference
big
because it's
difference.
all about mindset. Oh, we did it. We finished the hike, but we didn't finish the podcast.
Go eat some. Part
We're gonna have
two.
part 2 next time.
Part 2. Okay, part 2 next time.